Good evening and welcome. European football is back at Oriel Park after an absence of a season. And tonight, Dundalk welcome Gibraltar's Bruno's Magpies for this Europa Conference League second leg. 0-0 in Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar last week. But it wasn't a match without chances, the best of them probably falling to this evening's visitors. Alfonso Cortijo will be hoping his team won't rue those misses. Dundalk, they had chances of their own, and at least this evening they won't have to deal with that oppressive heat. That and a noisy partisan home crowd should make them favourites here tonight. It's Dundalk versus Bruno's Magpies live on LMFM's online match service and on LOI TV here this evening. Just a short while ago, I spoke to the Dundalk manager, Stephen O'Donnell, and this is what he had to say. There are the thoughts of the Dundalk manager ahead of this one tonight. The first round of the Europa Conference League here at Oriel Park. The first European match of the season. And Dundalk and Bruno's Magpies set to take the surface in just a moment. Alongside me on co-commentary this evening is the ex-Dundalk captain, John Flanagan. John, there's nothing like a European night at Oriel Park.
No, it's fantastic. The atmosphere here it's building for the last half an hour, 45 minutes. And you see in there from the pictures, very, very few empty seats, and the people are coming in and they'll be full shortly. And it should be a special occasion for Dundalk.
Well, Bruno's Magpies will certainly be hoping it's a special occasion for them too, as both sets of players are led from the tunnel away on the far side. Let's have a look at the two sides that will do battle here this evening for a place in the next round. Beginning with the home side and Dundalk, Stephen O'Donnell, he's happy to give the 11 that started the match last week in Gibraltar the opportunity to finish the job here this evening. That means Ryan O'Kane, young Ryan O'Kane, starts in his second ever European match on the left hand side, and Daniel Kelly, fresh from watching his cousin Abby Larkin in action at the Women's World Cup earlier today, he continues on the right hand side for the Lily Whites. And the away side, Bruno's Magpies, who have made the trip to Dundalk for this match this evening. Well, the Magpies manager Alfonso Cortijo, he makes 3 changes to last week's starting 11, and they're all in midfield and forward areas. Carlos Garcia, Kyle Casciaro and Jose Heraldez are the players to make way. Into the side come Liam Nash, Juanye Harguez and Dan Bent this evening for Bruno's Magpies. Referee, incidentally, this evening is Croatian Patrick Kolaric. This is his first time refereeing a European game, having been 4th official for 3 previous matches, including Häcken's 2-0 win away at the New Saints in Wales on Tuesday. It's not his first game in Ireland. He was 4th official for the Ireland under-21's 1-1 draw with Israel in September last year, a game in which Evan Ferguson equalised for Jim Crawford's side. The atmosphere very much building inside Oriel Park. John, no changes for Stephen O'Donnell and his team here this evening. He obviously thinks that's the 11 to finish the job tonight. Is it his strongest 11?
Yeah, I think when you look at who's available to him, it's definitely his strongest 11. There's great attacking threat out wide. Ryan O'Kane and Dan Kelly give you great options with great pacing behind, and obviously we know Pat Hooban, he's a proven goal scorer, he's a man for the big occasion, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that finishes the job for Dundalk tonight. But I think definitely on paper it's their strongest 11 available this evening.
3 changes to the Bruno's Magpies team. Good evening, first of all, to all you people who are watching in Gibraltar this evening to this one. We will try and be as unbiased as we possibly can, as we always are on LOI TV. 3 changes for Alfonso Cortijo to his side. You watched the match last week. What did you make of them? They had their opportunities in that game.
Yeah, I thought they were really excellent in transition. They seemed to sit back with Dundalk, and once they picked Dundalk off, they broke at pace and broke at numbers. And in fairness, from their own perspective, they created a lot of chances that they'd be disappointed not to finish, and no surprise maybe to see that all their changes are in those attacking areas where they'll hope that the lads coming in today can finish chances if they are created.
The other match that is relevant to this match here this evening is Connaskey Nomads taking on Kau'a Akureyri from Iceland. So Wales against Iceland on that one, and it's the Icelandic side who lead by a goal to 0 this evening in Wales, and that's to add to the 2 goals they scored in the first leg in Iceland. So it looks like one of these sides this day next week quite likely to be in Iceland. Which one will it be? Dundalk in their all-white strip here this evening, and Bruno's Magpies all in black. And it'll be Dundalk who will get us underway. Pat Hooban, the Dundalk captain, with the first touch of the evening. Dundalk have played 10 matches in European football here at Oriel Park in the last decade, and they've got a really good record too. Played 10, won 3, drew 6 and lost just 1, the Lily Whites here. So that's the task in front of the visitors from Gibraltar here this evening. Dundalk certainly with the edge in European experience over tonight's opponents too. Bruno's Magpies have 109 European appearances amongst their squad. Dundalk with 193. So experience on Dundalk's side as they get things underway. It was Johannes Ulikoko indeed with the first touch of the game, and that's Pat Hooban. Now it's Conor Malley. Hooban goes again. Ryan O'Kane is ahead of him. It's a nicely timed challenge. It's a Dundalk ball. Malley back for Leahy. Leahy trying to dig out an early cross. It'll be Ulikoko trying to make something on the edge of the penalty area, but that's cleared away by Bruno's Magpies. Returned again into the middle by Ansley, player who knows plenty about Gibraltarian football as a Gibraltar international himself, and he played in Gibraltar as well. Louis Ansley, the man on the ball now, made his European debut for Dundalk last week in his 10th appearance for the club on the night. Here's Darragh Leahy now. Now Boyle, front man for the visitors this evening is Liam Nash, taking the place up front of Heraldez, who started in that position last week. Nash is an English striker from Southend-on-Sea who has just joined Bruno's on loan from Hornchurch FC in the Isthmian Premier League. Here come Dundalk though, down the right hand side. Daniel Kelly with the cross in. It's headed away by Dos Santos. Still not cleared really by Magpies. They have completed the job now. Here's Archie Davies. Davies looking to swing a cross in, and that's gone behind, and that'll be a first corner kick of the evening. And Dundalk starting on the front foot here.
Yeah, an early indication of what Daniel Kelly can offer. He's that blistering pace in behind. The fullback thought that was definitely going to go over the line, but Kelly put on the afterburners and put on a good ball. Good positive start from Dundalk.
Corner kick will be taken by the Dundalk left full back, Darragh Leahy, who looked to swing this one in. Left footed. Referee, Mr. Klarich, just sorting things out inside the 6-yard box. There's a real scrum in there. Plenty of pressure on Jalen Hankins. And that's Bruno's defence from this corner kick. Johannes Ulikoko, the Finn waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Should anything break. Left-footed delivery in. Pat Hooban is there! And Pat Hooban has finished it! And Dundalk are off to the dream start! Inside 3 minutes, it's Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies nil.
And just as we forecast, the man on the job, Pat Hooban. You know, the keeper's gone down, Magpies complaining, but the referee's given the goal, and it's that man again. Wonderful ball whipped in by Leahy to the back stick, and Pat Hooban, so powerful in the air, got on the end of it. And Dundalk, we said they started off positive. That's a wonderful start, 1-0 up, and it's up to them now to push this on for the rest of the game.
His 6th goal in 26 outings for Pat Hooban, and let's have another look at it. That corner kick from Leahy causing all sorts of problems, and Hooban rises highest.
And when you look at it again, I think the keeper he was in a collision, but it was between Andy Boyle and Joe, both collided with him. Nothing in it really for me. It was a great ball by Darragh Leahy, and Pat Hooban, he's so strong in the air, just gets up over the defender and guides it home.
And Dundalk lead. And well, that is a threat that surely Bruno's Magpies should have been aware of. Pat Hooban's strength in the air from those sort of situations before they came here.
I mean, when you're doing your video analysis, he is the one that you look at, the record goal scorer. He's so good in the air. He's number 1 on the board that should be marked, picked up by your best header, your best defender. And he scored far too easily from a Magpies point of view. I
think it was the number 7, Juanye Arguez, the player who was up against him. Left player playing on the left side here this evening. And well, if that's the case, perhaps it was, we'll have another look at it in a while, but maybe it was good movement by Hooban that pulled himself onto Arguez. But in any case, Dundalk are in front here, and that is exactly the start that Bruno's Magpies did not want in this one. Dundalk lead by 1-0. Pat Hooban with his 10th goal in all competitions this season. And Dundalk look to come forward again. Magpies don't have it. It's with Coombs. Dundalk turning it over once more. Here's Davies. Now Ansley. Leahy, provider of that ball for the goal. Malley cushioning that back to Louis Ansley. Boyle. Ansley sees his pass forward blocked by Jack Storer. He had a wonderful opportunity last week, Jack Storer, to open the scoring in this tie. Fortunately for Bruno's Magpies, unable to take the chance. One of a number of opportunities for the home side. Ryan O'Kane unable to keep that in play.
Dundalk now, they can afford to be patient. Magpies would have came with a plan, maybe sit in, frustrate Dundalk and play their way into the game, but they're going to have to come out now at some stage and put pressure on Dundalk, which will leave more space in behind for O'Kane and Kelly to exploit.
It's a nice sunny evening in Dundalk, but the temperature around about 17 degrees. It was approximately 20 degrees higher than that in Gibraltar last week, so very different conditions for Dundalk to deal with. Really Coco's flick on. Hubin, a little bit of a shove in the back by Gonzalez. Play continues though. Hubin scrapping for it again, may have come off his hand and has, according to our Croatian referee. Free kick to the visitors, and maybe a chance now to send some of those taller players forward and test this Dundalk defence. Dan Bent making his way forward and pulling across onto Darragh Leahy, one of the taller figures in the Bruno side, preparing to have a run at this perhaps. It's a long free kick towards Bent. There's an offside though, and that'll be a free kick to Dundalk.
Good organisation by Andy Boyle. I can see him in the middle. He got his line. He's screaming and shouting. He can't be underestimated how important he is in terms of his organisational skills for that back four. Half time
in the other match, as I said, affecting this one this evening. Connaskeen Nomads 0, Cow 1. So that's 3-0 on aggregate in that one. So looking very likely one of these teams heading to Iceland, and Daniel Kelly looking to make sure it's Dundalk, and that's a bit of a mess by Hankins, and it's cleared away by Diaz. It'll be a throw into Dundalk. Long and direct by the Lily Whites, and they've taken that quickly. Here's Kelly again, trying to help it back towards Davies, but defending back there is Arguez. Dundalk throw in.
It's something they've improved on lately a lot. Dundalk early on in the season, they were keeping the ball, they were keeping it for keeping its sake. They weren't really threatening, but what they've done now, that they've started to go long every so often to try and stretch teams. Dan Kelly gives you that option in behind, and what that does then, the back four of Magpies will drop off and allow more space in the midfield. So the more they vary it, the better for themselves.
Let's have another look at that goal and look at that mismatch that Pat Hubin had at the back post. Rising highest, or it wasn't, indeed it was the centre back Ruben Diaz, who might have expected to do a little bit better against Pat Hubin.
Yeah, captain on captain. Pat Hubin, he just muscled him. He's just so strong in the air. But credit to Lee, that's a fabulous ball, right on the money.
And Joseph Cipollina has been replaced here by the Magpies early on. Francisco Zuniga, the player coming into the game. And that's a blow for Magpies, because one thing we saw last week, and that is that Cipollina's throw-ins are a huge weapon. He really does bomb them into the penalty area from all sorts of positions on either side of the pitch, and that'll be a relief in some respects for Dundalk.
Again, it's something Dundalk would have been worried about all week. They would have practiced it on the training field, had prepared. It's like Rory the Laps throw-ins looking at them last week. It was just like a free kick from anywhere inside the Dundalk half.
Corner kick for Dundalk. Can they repeat the dose here on Bruno's Magpies? It'll be the same player to take it. Darragh Leahy will look to whip this one in again. Pat Hubin is again on that goal line at the back post. If Leahy can find him again, and in it goes. It's punched away this time by Julian Hankins. Arguez is after this. Davies will return it into the Bruno's half, and Hubin will compete. Headed up into the air by Gonzalez. Dundalk momentarily had it back. Might be a chance here for the visitors to attack, and it's with Coombs now, right hand side, but that's the Dundalk attacking midfielder really. Uli Coco on the defence. Throw in to Magpies. Andre Dos Santos takes it. Appeals for handball against Coombs. Referee unconvinced. Diaz header down, and Diaz is onto this again and helps it back to his goalkeeper. Jalen Hankins on loan at the club from Lincoln Red Imps until the end of this month. Diaz again now. Here's Coombs. Diaz, crossfield ball, looking for Arguez on the far side, but Daniel Kelly, number 7 against number 7, reads it and gets there first.
Yeah, Arguez and Coombs are staying very, very wide for Magpies. They're trying to make the pitch as big as possible. They just need that ball a little bit earlier into them. Not allow them to duck back 4, shuffle over and back.
It is a very strong sun, John, isn't it? Directly in the eyes, really, of Nathan Shepherd here in this first half. Difficult for the Dundalk goalkeeper should Bruno's get the opportunity to put that ball into the penalty area.
Yeah, and he's one of the keepers who chooses not to wear a cap most of the time, so anything in there you'd be worried for his vision.
Ruben looking for the run of O'Kane. Ball might drop kindly for him off the back of Dos Santos. Throw in for the Lily Whites. Here's Malley. Leahy. So for those of you listening on LMFM.ie and who have arrived late, it's Dundalk with the early goal. Pat Hooven on 3 minutes with a back post header. Perfect start for Dundalk. That's really good work by Liam Nash. Pressurising Louis Ansley into the Dundalk throw-in. Liam Nash is familiar with this ground, or with this league certainly. He had a spell with Cork City in 2019. Scored once in 7 appearances. He was on the bench indeed here at Oriel Park when Dundalk won 1-0 in March 2019. Michael Duffy with the header on that occasion for the Lily Whites. 27-year-old forward player Liam Nash. Here's Leahy. Sloggett. Malley. Now Boyle. Dundalk have settled well. Willie Coco looking to get away from Bent. He's found Greg Sloggett. Leahy. Good work in midfield to close down the option by Joe. Spanish centre back. Operating in midfield. He actually proved a useful presence in the opponent's penalty area last season. 4 goals in 19 appearances, Joe. Dos Santos now. His clearance is blocked. Hooven will compete against Bent. Joe slips past Sloggett now. Might be possibilities. 5 players forward in black shirts in this attack. Here's Coombs now running at Leahy. Still Coombs, and he's got the cross in. Cut out by Ansley. He managed to put in some dangerous balls last week from that position. Jamie Coombs.
He's very positive. Once he gets on it, he wants to drive it Darragh Leahy there and get the ball into the box. Looks a real handful.
Here's Dos Santos. And as he first corner kick of the evening for the visiting side, he has. And this will give the big man a chance to come forward. Ruben Diaz, Olmo Gonzalez and Francisco Zuniga no doubt will make up the numbers in there. It'll be Dos Santos to take the corner kick. Right footed, not the best of connections, and that's headed away relatively easily by Conor Malley. Here's Coombs. Now Bent, he'll go all the way back to Jalen Hankins. Hankins returns it. Looking for Storer, but the header is won by Boyle. Throw into Magpies. And there's an offside against Jack Storer. Dundalk free kick. Dundalk very much favourites coming into this evening, but Irish football fans will be acutely aware that shocks can happen, especially Shamrock Rovers fans who are expecting and hoping to meet Claxvik from the Faroe Islands next week in the second round of this competition. But the Faroese were shocked. Well, they shocked their more illustrious opponents, Ferencváros, last night. And now it's a much more difficult tie against the Hungarians facing Rovers. Here's Bruno's Magpies. Now it's Bent. Bent will try to shoot, but not enough bend on it as it turns out. Straight into the arms of Nathan Shepherd. And
again, Magpies shown what they done last week as well. Once Dundalk slip up and make any kind of errors in that midfield, they'll pick up the pieces and drive at them, and Bent shot from the edge of the box. Probably should have done better. It was a good opportunity.
Davies. Arguez putting him under pressure. Davies protecting it and holding off Arguez and emerges with the ball. Here's Conor Malley now. Darragh Leahy. Now it's with O'Kane. Dos Santos sliding in, but O'Kane keeps the possession and runs into Leahy. Dundalk do still have it with Conor Malley. O'Kane once more. O'Kane gets it onto the right foot and gets the cross in. It's a really good cutout at the front post by Diaz. Dundalk still with the ball. Dundalk throw in. 15 minutes played at Oriel Park. Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies 0. Malley. Now it's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane, is he clipped by Bent? The referee says no. The cross comes in from Leahy, and attacking it is Daniel Kelly, coming in off that right hand side.
Really good ball in by Leahy there. Ryan O'Kane just slipped. And Leahy, that's a couple of good balls he's put into the box, and Kelly doing what you want your winger on the far side to do. He's just coming into the back post. Just couldn't get the studs onto it.
Beautiful play by Conor Malley, and he still has it, but he's had it stolen from him by Dan Bent. Might be an opportunity here for Magpies, but they can't quite work it out. And the ball breaks down.
Done really well, Conor Malley, and just took that extra touch that wasn't needed.
Davies looking for the run of Daniel Kelly. He's got Zuniga at his back. Kelly. Davies is up in support, so is Hubin. This is the Galwegian. Malley not really too sure of where Darragh Leahy was. And Leahy can't keep that in play. Throw into Bruno's Magpies.
Just got to be a little bit more patient in possession than Dundalk. You don't have to force it, just make sure the passes are clean and crisp and find the player. Try and draw Magpies out.
Leahy. Now slog it. Malley. Andy Boyle. John Flanagan had a little look at me then as Greg Sloggett stepped over that ball. It was a dicey enough move, John, wasn't it?
It was precision. I don't think Andy Boyle was expecting it, but we'll give Greg Sloggett the benefit of the doubt, and he knew what he was doing. But that's intercepted.
Leahy, that is intercepted by Arguez, who'll carry it into midfield here. Coombs is on the run on the right hand side, and has he stayed onside? He has. Here's Coombs. There is a man in the middle. Liam Nash is in there, so too is Bent, and it's Andy Boyle who has to sweep up at the front post. Corner kick to Bruno's Magpies, but once again showing the danger they possess on the break.
Yeah, and once again it's from sloppy play from Dundalk. Leahy giving it away. He's trying to force that pass. There's no need for it, and Coombs has done really well. He's put the ball in just between the back four and the keeper, and Ansley done very, very well at the front post.
Dos Santos with this latest corner kick for Bruno's. It's an out swinger away by Hubin. Cross will come in from that left hand side. Dan Bent will return it into the 6-yard box, away by Leahy. Here's Dos Santos onto the left foot. Dos Santos looks to curl one. Not a million miles away by Andre Dos Santos.
It was a good ball in there, and Bent found himself free in the back post. Just try to head it back across goal. He nearly actually had time to take that on his chest if he wanted to. But they're starting to play their way into the game, Magpies now. They're starting to cause Dundalk a little bit of trouble.
Boyle now. Oriel Park swathed in sunshine this evening. Real improvement in the weather in the northeast in the last couple of days. And Dundalk have the ball back again. It's Hubin looking to slip Daniel Kelly, and really well timed challenge by Ruben Diaz.
He's so effective when he does that. Pat Hubin just drops in front of the centre half, and he links the play so well. Gets in the half turn and puts Kelly in. Great run in behind. But that's Dundalk. They've got to be that patient. Andy Boyle and Ansley there, just 5 or 6 passes between them. They're trying to draw Magpies out, and they've got to do that. Be patient. And then once they press, they need one of the midfielders or Pat Hubin there on that occasion, showing for feet just to pass through that initial press.
Sloggett looks to bend one behind Dos Santos for Ryan O'Kane to get onto, and the young Dundalk man is onto it. Dos Santos, once again, a well-timed sliding challenge. It'll be a throw-in to the visitors. Manages to knock that off O'Kane. Dos Santos himself will take this. Brazilian-born right back. A new signing for the Gibraltar side from Mons Calpe, who also play their matches in the Victoria Stadium. It's my understanding that all the teams that play in the Gibraltar League do so. He's a former teammate of Louis Ansley at Lincoln Red Imps. Andre Dos Santos. This is Ansley, and now it's Andy Boyle. Ansley. Not enough pace on that to reach Leahy. Coombs stepping in to win it back, and that's nicely played by Bruno's Imps. This is Coombs. He's got players in the middle if he can find them, and there's one arriving, Joe, and it's straight at Nathan Shepherd, and that was an outstanding chance for Bruno's Magpies. Just needed to be either side of Nathan Shepherd, and we might well have had an equaliser.
And once again, it's Coombs bombing on that right hand side. Once that ball breaks, he's making those runs in behind Leahy, and he seems to have got the pace on Leahy. He's put another great ball in, and Joe coming late, struck it really well. Unfortunately for him, just straight at the keeper. But again, it's come from a Dundalk man giving the ball away, unpressured. Ansley that time trying to force a pass into Ryan O'Kane. And Magpies doing, like they did last week, any mistake, they're going to cause Dundalk an awful lot of trouble in transition.
Coombs very much the threat on the Bruno's Magpies right hand side. Darragh Leahy will need to be mindful of that. And Louis Ansley on his inside. That's a really good ball by Conor Malley, and he's found Sloggett. Sloggett will try a shot from distance, but the result is the same as at the other end a moment ago, straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
But it's better play from Dundalk, the passing the ball, passing it through the lines to people's feet. Conor Malley, he's the one that they need to get on that ball as much as possible.
Boyle's header. Here's the danger man for Bruno's, Coombs. Diaz, the crossfield ball is blocked by Hubin. Dundalk coming into this match in decent form. Just one defeat in 7 matches against Bohemians 2 Fridays ago. Daniel Kelly. Kelly's cross in towards Uli Coco. It's come off Hubin. But no real danger in the end up for Jalen Hankins and his goal.
That's exactly what Dan Kelly wants. He wants the ball early out wide. Let him isolate the full-back one-on-one. Put in a great ball there, and Uli Coco stepped over it. Just took Pat Hubin by surprise. He couldn't get it under his spell. Remember too that this is a Bruno's Magpies team very much in pre-season. They warmed up for this tie with a friendly against the English club Preston North End a couple of weeks ago in Spain. Preston winning that match by 3-0. But the report said that Bruno's acquitted themselves well in the game, as they have across both of these legs so far. And after 23 minutes or so at Oriel Park, it's Dundalk with the goal advantage, but Magpies very much still part of this game and this tie. Here's Malley. Ansley into the path of Boyle. Now it's Uli Coco picking that one up. Daniel Kelly is in the middle. Ryan O'Kane getting in as well. It's in towards Kelly. O'Kane will get onto it and will get turned on it, will he? Back for Malley. Leahy is in support. Here's Sloggett. Now Leahy. And Leahy will look to dig out across towards Hubin. And out comes Hankins to punch away. Sloggett nods it all the way back to Andy Boyle. And there's a player down. It's Joe who's collected a head injury presumably. And the referee taking no chances and stopping the play. Well played with the keeper. Hankins there. Decent ball in again by Leahy from the left hand side. He's dealt with that. Gives defence a little bit of confidence. But that's what Dundalk can create when they move the ball quickly and they pass it through the lines.
Neil Flynn has been in touch on Twitter asking can we give a shout out to Logan Flynn, who stayed up late for the game. Shane Mulligan is watching the match in Wrexham in Wales. He was hoping that Connaskey would come through the other tie and that Dundalk might be playing in Wales next week. Not looking likely at this stage. Here's Dan Bent now. Tom Baldwin and Oliver Bradley also listening in tonight. If you're listening or watching, at Adrian Taff on Twitter, especially those of you in Gibraltar this evening. Let us know if you're watching it. You're very welcome to get in touch at Adrian Taff, and we'll give you a shout out during the commentary as it progresses. Throw in to Dundalk. Darragh Leahy will take it. Davies for Kelly. Now Boyle. Full house inside Oriel Park this evening. Ansley with an acre of space to bring the ball into here. 25 minutes in. Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies 0. Pat Hooven on 3. The difference between the teams so far. Kelly's header for Hooven. Can't quite return the ball to the rings end man. It could be a Dundalk throw in. Here's Boyle. Ansley. Now Boyle. Sloggett. Nash looking to close him down. Sloggett has played that into the hands of Jalen Hankins.
Yeah, I don't even know what he was trying to play there. There was actually nobody up. It was good play by Nash. He's putting him under pressure. But all the Dundalk have to do, be patient, pass it round him, keep him running, keep him working, try and tire him out.
Darragh Leahy will have the throw in for Dundalk. Stephen O'Donnell, the Dundalk manager. This is his first time managing a home match in European football. As a player, he made 26 European appearances, scoring twice, 12 of those for Dundalk. Kelly is onto that, and Kelly has Hooven to his right hand side. Here is the Dundalk captain. Ryan O'Kane is the target of the pass, and O'Kane almost wasn't expecting it. Dos Santos for a moment looked favoured to get ahead to that.
He done well, Dos Santos. He put off O'Kane. Hooven had just put a perfect amount of pace in the ball, just dropped on O'Kane's toe, but Santos just put him off enough.
Leahy wins that header against Coombs. Malley to O'Kane. Malley again. Leahy. Uli Coco. Malley. Bundled over by Jack Storer. Here's Davies. Nathan Shepherd hasn't seen much of it in the first half. Has had to make a save or two, mind you, but they've largely been straight at him. Any Magpies efforts that we've seen. Andre Dos Santos seeing plenty of the ball down this right hand side in this first half. Joe back for Dos Santos again. Here's Zuniga, Mexican centre back with Spanish citizenship, into the game for Cipollina at left full back in this first half. Ansley. Liam Nash closing down the Dundalk goalkeeper. Gonzalez to the feet of Bent. Bent with a look over his shoulder towards Coombs, but he's being marshalled by Leahy. This one is looking for Coombs. Leahy thought he'd won it, but Coombs is straight up, and that's not a bad looking ball towards his teammate Jack Storer, but more good defending by Dundalk, and Storer has stayed down. Dundalk looking to spring forward.
And needed to be in that occasion, needed to be that interception from Andy Boyle. It's an excellent break. It's a wonderful ball by Coombs.
Given away cheaply by Uli Coco, and that's looking for Coombs again. Dos Santos turning okay. Sloggett starting for the 100th time for Dundalk this evening. Greg Sloggett. He'll have been watching the Women's World Cup with extra interest today too. His girlfriend Chloe Mustaki, part of the Republic of Ireland Women's World Cup squad. And as I mentioned earlier, Daniel Kelly with an interest too, a family interest in that match as well. Abby Larkin, who did really well when she came into the game in the second half for Ireland. Here's Kelly up against Zuniga and looks to go on his outside. Kelly, can he find the cross? It's put behind by Diaz. Corner kick for Dundalk.
He's up the real threat, Dan Kelly, so far. He definitely has the legs and the fullback. Zuniga, another good ball put in. But just you can see on occasion when Dundalk are trying to play out from the back, they haven't any options in the midfield. So we're going to need Greg Sloggett and Mali Ulikok, a little bit more rotation. But one of them has to be an option there to pass out from the back. Try and link that play a little bit better.
This time Darragh Leahy not coming across to take this one. It'll be Ryan O'Kane who'll outswing this corner kick, right-footed. Different tactic from Dundalk. Referee unhappy with something in the 6-yard box. Conor Malley involved. Ryan O'Kane, Pat Hubin and Louis Ansley and Andy Boyle gathered around the penalty spot awaiting the opportunity to run at this, and the referee wants a word with Greg Sloggett now. And I think that's Olmo Gonzalez getting a talking to too. Indeed, it was Zuniga, Francisco Zuniga. Corner kick for Dundalk now. Ryan O'Kane. Referee satisfied. O'Kane, outswinger towards Andy Boyle. Headed away well by a Magpies defender. And Dos Santos has stayed down in there. And somehow 3 Bruno's Magpies players are on the ground after that corner kick.
There's a lot of push, there's a lot of shoving. I think lads just running into each other there. There's not a whole lot in it.
Another look at it on the monitor, and if anything, the 2 Magpies players collided with each other.
Yeah, Andy Boyle went up. I think he went up with Dos Santos, and then Gonzalez then came in the middle of it, so you kind of had a 3-way sandwich.
Niall and Evan Harty, Dundalk season ticket holders, watching in from the south of France this evening. George Mulligan, Kenneth Rogan and Uncle Mr. Jimmy Rogan watching in Kerry, cheering on the boys. Kevin Maguire also watching. Rory Gilson as ever watching the Lily Whites this evening and watching them lead against Bruno's Magpies. Here's the Gibraltar team trying to change that. Andy Boyle has to go low to head that away, and the shot on the volley. What a hit that screamer. Is! An absolute screamer by Joe. And Bruno's Magpies with a wonder goal are level at Oriel Park. It's Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies 1.
It's an absolutely fabulous strike by Joe, and again it's come from this man Coombs on the right hand side. He's put another good ball in that Andy Boyle had to stoop down low to the head clear, and Joe just took aim and a jumping side volley into the top corner. Absolutely wonderful strike. Great technique, just got his knee up over the ball and gave the keeper Shepherd absolutely no chance whatsoever. But in fairness, they've been growing into the games.
Stunning goal by Joe, absolutely stunning, managing to contort his body to get his foot over the ball, and that little band of Bruno's Magpie supporters are dancing and cheering in the main stand at Oriel Park now, because their side are level. And well, Alfonso Cortillo, it wouldn't have been part of the plan for his side to go behind so early on here, but very much part of the plan to get a goal on the break, which they've done. And it's Joe, one of the best goals that will be scored in European football at any level this evening.
The technique involved in that was just fabulous. Andy Boyle just couldn't sort his feet out to come forward to clear, and he done well getting out to head it, but what a strike.
It's actually, I've looked at the goal twice already, and I don't know if any Dundalk player was at fault, because I was just watching the wonder of the actual strike. We'll analyse it a little bit further later on, but for the moment it's the equalising goal for Bruno's Magpies. And Dundalk and Oriel Park silenced somewhat. Shedside Army below us trying to rouse themselves back into some noise. Can Dundalk give them an opportunity and a reason to do so? Here's Greg Sloggett now. Not a real shell shock for the Lily Whites. The goal coming on 33 minutes for Joe and for Magpies. Here's Boyle. No Ansley. Malley dropping deep. Leahy to his left. Dara Leahy now. Coombs straight out to dispossess the Dubliner. And away by Dos Santos. And that goal will certainly have given Bruno's Magpies encouragement and courage and confidence, John.
And we said this, that they started off slowly, but they've played their way into the game and they've looked a real threat.
Here's Storer now, helps it on towards Bent, but offside. The Dundalk defence, not for the first time, well marshalled back there.
They've done well, Magpies, but Dundalk, they've been architects of their own downfall. They've been giving the ball away too cheaply, they've been making poor decisions on the ball. Their intensity levels have dropped and they've allowed Magpies come back into this.
Boyle. Searching ball forward for Kelly. Zuniga elects to allow the ball, beat him and bounce out of play. Well, things all going according to plan for Dundalk until that shocker of a stunning strike by Joe 3.5 minutes ago. Now the Lily Whites will have to start again, and maybe somewhat fortunate, John, that away goals don't count in Europe anymore.
Yeah, because at the moment it's gone from Dundalk starting really brightly, getting that goal ahead, and you want them to push on and try and put Magpies to the sword, but they haven't, and they've allowed them grow in. The confidence has improved, that their tails are up, and they look like the ones now that's going to push on.
Well, that's a cheap yellow card for Jamie Coombs, kicking the ball away. The Bruno's Magpies number 10, and he's arguing his case with the referee, but the referee immediately reached for the yellow card as soon as he kicked it away. Jamie Coombs, 28 caps for Gibraltar, an unused sub against Ireland last month indeed. First player into the referee's notebook this evening. Away by Dos Santos. And Coombs is on to it. Leahy looking to get back goal side. Defends it successfully.
But again, you've got to question the decision making. Andy Boyle, he's playing a long, high diagonal ball out to Ryan O'Kane, who's the smallest player on the pitch.
Here's Nash being ushered over to the right hand side. And that's loose by Dundalk. And Joe was waiting on the edge of the penalty area again. That'll be a free kick to the Lily Whites. The foul cheaply conceded by Liam Nash. With Dundalk under pressure, a little unnecessary. Davies. Dundalk certainly have been knocked out of their stride here at the moment. Dundalk supporters claiming that Dan Bent had stretched in a little too aggressively for that ball on Greg Sloggett. Dundalk have the free kick, and referee will have a quick word with Dan Bent.
Not a whole lot. It was Greg Sloggett actually. The ball got away from him a little bit, and he's stretching to get into the tackle. He was fortunate it didn't get hurt in the end. But Dundalk just become a little bit sloppy, a little bit shell shocked. Need to get back to playing their own game.
Leahy. Houben. Davies just smuggles it back to Boyle. Boyle for Houben again. Pat Houben not involved in this game nearly enough as far as Dundalk would be concerned, apart from the goal in 3 minutes. Dundalk haven't utilised his strengths really in this first half all that much.
No, a lot of the balls he's getting, they're kind of really straight to the centre halves, just challenging them, and that's where you want Pat picking up the ball in that little pocket of space.
Here's Ryan O'Kane now to run at Dos Santos, bundled over by Coombs, and he's lucky he doesn't get a second yellow card there. That's the danger of picking up a first one for such a cheap act as to knocked the ball away. Perhaps if he wasn't on one, he might have gotten one.
Pat Hubin just reminding the referee of that. But Ryan O'Kane done really well. It's driving at him. Is it the replay of the goal? Well, it's going to show the replay of the goal. It came from the Dundalk, giving the ball away now. It's good play by Joe and Coombs.
Jamie Coombs very much on a tightrope now.
But that's it. Next challenge, you could see him being sent off.
Free kick to Dundalk. It's a dangerous area. Certainly one from which Dundalk do like to pick out the likes of Pat Hubin on rushing in there. That far top corner also a potential target for this. Ryan O'Kane and Conor Malley, the two players standing over it. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, can Dundalk get a second breakthrough in this game? 1-1 at Oriel Park. Ryan O'Kane with his left arm in the air. What will that trigger in the middle? It will be O'Kane to deliver towards the back post. No one there in white, headed away by Bent. Uli Coco will try and make something of it. Two players in black around him, and they've won it back here. Bruno's Magpies. And Coombs is on the move, and it's a long ball, and that had to be cut out by Malley. And you can see very much part of Bruno's Magpies' plan here is to pick out this man at every opportunity from left to right. Here's Coombs. Dos Santos in support. Dos Santos looking for the cross, blocked by O'Kane. Still Dos Santos, and he's managed to get turned on O'Kane, and he's managed to beat Daniel Kelly. Not Conor Malley though. But it is very clear what Bruno's Magpies tactic is here, John.
Yeah, once the ball breaks in the middle, third at all, they're just looking for that diagonal switch, even playing it blind over Leahy's head, because Coombs definitely has the beating of him in this first half. Darrell Leahy's going to need some help. He's going to need to get tighter to Coombs himself and get the back three to push over and help him this side.
Here's the goal scorer, Joe, and he's gone down pretty theatrically, holding the left ankle. Assistant referee not convinced by his complaints, nor the actual referee. I don't think Joe was all that convinced by his own complaints either. He's back on his feet. Dundalk throw in. Hubin's flick on. Bruno's Magpies with the throw now. Gonzalez. Hankins. Flicked on by Nash. And they're after it again here, Magpies. And the challenge on Nathan Shepherd was a fair one. Bruno's player has tumbled to the ground and stayed down.
But you can even see in the lead up to that play when Storer's pushing right up with Nash to nearly play a two. And Darrell Lee's having to tuck right in to give a bit of cover. Coombs is staying really wide. Just committed for the ball, and he collided with Shepherd as he's gone up, and he just fell really, really awkwardly.
Both sets of players taking the opportunity to take in some water here.
I think the Doctors are going to have to adjust their shape slightly, and where that's Greg Sloggett has just dropped off a little bit more to give the cover when Storer pushes on. That allows Leahy to push it out tighter to Coombs, because Coombs is a real handful, and he is the danger man for them this first half.
There didn't appear to be all that much in it when the Magpies player, may well be Jack Storer, that's down.
I think it's just the way he landed, because as he went up with Nathan Shepherd, he nearly face planted backwards into the turf.
They've already lost Cipollina to injury in this first half. Bruno's Magpies. I'm sure Alfonso Cortijo would rather not have to make another change before the break. Have another look at it here.
Yeah, it's the way he landed. His arm was outstretched, and it's never a good sign. I think it's the shoulder that they're looking at.
Well, he is back to his feet, Jack Storer, but he's moving gingerly enough for the moment. Left arm very much braced. Might well be that right shoulder though, that's the problem. And well, it does look like they're trying to fix him up to get him back in.
Or it looks like he's holding his left arm up with a sprain on the right shoulder. very easy for someone to dislocate a shoulder or do some damage with that kind of a fall.
He's moving a little better now in the corner as Dundalk continue to play. Uli Coco, a little nudge in the back from Diaz. Here's Coombs, Diaz again. Diaz plays it blindly out to this right hand side, but on this occasion Jamie Coombs was right next to him.
Yeah, it's just those occasions with Dundalk. They've very little options for Andy Boyle.
3 minutes of time added on at the end of this first half. Jack Storer back into the game. Here's Leahy. Houben goes down, just clipped by Diaz. Nothing sinister in it. He's back to his feet, Houben. O'Kane. Coombs has dispossessed him, but he's given that away to Pat Houben. But Houben will try and find the cross. It's gone behind, and that'll be a goal kick to the visiting side. And we are inside the first of those 3 minutes to be added on here. And Alfonso Cortijo can be very happy with the efforts of his side, and certainly the response to that early goal from Dundalk.
Yeah, they've really built on it. They looked out of it for maybe 5 minutes. Dundalk started really bright. As I said, they played their way in. They look full of confidence now. They look a real threat going forward. Just going to say, DeSantis there really doing a great job on Ryan O'Kane.
Ansley. Daniel Kelly will pressurise Zuniga again. Zuniga wins the header away by Arguez. Storer. Dundalk looking for an offside that does come from the near assistant. Here's Louis Ansley. Boyle back for his goalkeeper. Nash working ever so hard. Shepherd had to hurry his clearance. Header by Zuniga. Here's Bent. And pass back from Coombs, just falling short. Ryan O'Kane concedes the throw in. This evening's match, part of what could be a vital few days for Dundalk. A win tonight and another on Sunday in the FAI Cup against Shamrock Rovers. Will be a really fantastic platform for the rest of the season ahead. But they have work to do here if they're to collect a win tonight. Here's Leahy. Ansley. Easy for Zuniga. Slog it for Houben. Diaz at his back. He's managed to squirm that out to Greg Sloggett. Now it's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane onto the right foot. Saved by Hankins. And not the most convincing of clearances, but it is the last action of the first half. A first half that ends with Dundalk having an effort on Bruno's Magpies goal. A first half that started impressively and perfectly for Dundalk with that early goal from Pat Houben on 3, but Joe with a sensational equaliser for the visiting side on 33 gives us parity at the break. Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies 1.
Yeah, I think on the balance of play, Adrian, probably resulted fair so far, but just perfect start for Dundalk. Wonderful crossing by Darrell Lee to the back stick, and Pat Houben, he would envision that in his sleep, overpowering the centre half and burying the header into the goal. Perfect start for Dundalk.
Pat Houben with a 6th goal in European football, giving Dundalk the ideal start. But Bruno's Magpies were a threat for most of that first half, responded really well to falling behind so early. That was Dan Bent with an effort for Bruno's Magpies.
Dan Kelly coming in the back, they just couldn't get a foot on it. The Magpies probably on the balance play, probably had more threatening, more chances than Dundalk had, and this man here, Coombs, at the heart of most of it.
Jamie Coombs has certainly been a thorn in Dundalk's side in the first half, and it was his goal that has the visitors level here. Coombs again, almost every highlight that you'll see from Bruno's will have him involved, and that an effort. Certainly a warning was served to Dundalk with that chance.
Yeah, it was that combination again, Coombs and Joe. This time Joe made no mistake. Wonderful technique. He just as you said, because I've contorted himself, got his knee up over the ball, and he's absolutely planted into the top corner.
Superb strike from Joe.
I think we didn't see it there, but again, in the build up to that, Dundalk gave the ball away cheaply, and once Magpies break, it's ball out to Coons, and then it's game on.
This was Jack Storer going into a collision with Nathan Shepherd that Shepherd didn't know all that much about. Storer stayed down. He was fit to continue though. And then Ryan O'Kane with the last real chance of that first half, getting it onto his right foot, but Hankins equal to it.
Yeah, that was probably the best chance apart from the goal, and it was a great feat by Ryan O'Kane. It's probably the first time you've really seen him going at the fullback, squaring him up, cut inside, and got an early shot off, but straight at Hankins. All to play for here. All to play for here
in the Europa Conference League in the second leg of this first leg tie. Half time here. It's parity between these two. Dundalk 1, Bruno's Magpies 1. We'll be back with you very shortly indeed for the second half. Welcome back to our coverage from Oriel Park. It's Dundalk versus Bruno's Magpies here, and it's 1-1 at the break, and Dundalk making a change. John Martin about to come into the game, and he will replace Johannes Uli Koko. What do you think the thinking is there? John Flanagan, the ex-Dundalk captain, on co-commentary alongside me.
Yeah, I think John Martin, it'll depend how he plays him. He's so versatile. Whether will he go into the midfield three, or whether he'll go right up top and Pat Hooben will drop in and try and help the midfield. But just coming to the end of that first half, Magpies got on top in that midfield area, and they were able to play the ball around a little bit too comfortably from a Dundalk perspective. So they're looking to strengthen up in that area.
So John Martin, it does look like he's gone into the most advanced position for Dundalk at the moment, with Pat Hooben in behind. Martin challenging for that one. Here's Joe, the Bruno's Magpies goal scorer. Conor Malley. Now it's Diaz with the header, putting it out of play.
And the one thing we know with John Martin, he won't be found wanting in terms of work rate, effort, and putting the back four under pressure. But as well as that, he scored a few goals of vital importance in Dundalk, and hopefully he'll be able to get one here tonight.
Martin challenging for it over there. Throw into Dundalk. Here's Conor Malley. Now Archie Davies. Nathan Shepherd sends that away. Offside against Ryan O'Kane on the far side. John Martin was a substitute last week in the first leg. He's been carrying an injury of late, but actually made his European debut off the bench on what was his 60th appearance for Dundalk last week in the Victoria Stadium. Stephen O'Donnell admitted after the game they were taking a little bit of a risk with him because of that injury he's had recently, but he came through it successfully, and Stephen O'Donnell is deemed him fit for 45 minutes at the very least here this evening. We could well have penalties, extra time and penalties if they're necessary. Bruno Magpies with the free kick. Leahy. Ansley. Leahy away again. Hooben's flick towards Martin. Martin gets in there in front of Diaz and emerges with the ball. Dos Santos trying to get goal side. Here's Ryan O'Kane now. Daniel Kelly is in the middle. Players arriving. One of them is Martin, straight at the goalkeeper. Martin again.
Yes!
Oh! And it's 2-1! And he's had immediate impact here, John Martin. On the follow-up. And it's Dundalk 2, Bruno's Magpies 1.
And just as we said, he showed his immediate impact there, muscling defenders out of it, holding the ball up, done really, really well initially. With a lovely little ball down the side to Ryan O'Kane, who got down right to the byline and pulled it back. And then he showed the second part of John Martin. He finished it. Great at first effort, wonderful save by Hankins. But then he had the speed of thought and speed of foot to follow it up and tap it into the goal.
Most critical here, John. He didn't stop when his first shot was saved.
Yeah, he done
followed
really
in.
well. Excellent. The first, it was good strike. In fairness, he put from the pull back. Keeper done well, but he followed his own shot in. He was the first to react, and that quick reaction's got Dundalk the goal. So again, Dundalk, wonderful start to the half.
Dundalk with the opening goal of the game on 3 minutes. Their second goal of the game coming 3 minutes into the second half. And Joe, with the equaliser for Bruno's Magpies on 33 minutes. So 3 very much the magic number in this game at the moment. But for Dundalk, 2 the magic number at the minute, because they lead by 2-1. John Martin just on as a half-time substitute, and he has found the way past Hankins. Dundalk leading. Martin colliding with Gonzalez. Referee Organ, he's given the free kick to the visitors here. So can Dundalk do a better job of building on that lead goal in this second half than they did in the first?
That's what they want to do. They want to really drive it home now and keep the levels up, keep the intensity, keep that pressure rising that they started off the second half with. Don't allow Magpies come back into the game, because they've shown their quality in that first half.
Diaz looking for Coombs. Darrell Leahy out in front to win it. Here's Dos Santos. Lofts it into the penalty area. Davies will allow that run. Dundalk throw in. Dundalk supporters below us in better voice now. Here's Davies. Hubert lifts it over his shoulder towards Martin. Daniel Kelly. Leahy. O'Kane. Leahy once more. Dundalk throw in. Dundalk usually successful at negotiating the first round in Europe. They haven't gone out in the first round of Europe since 2017, when they lost 2-1 away to Rosenborg after extra time. Andre Dos Santos with the throw in front of the Dundalk bench, and animated as usual Stephen O'Donnell. Bruno's Magpies very much a team on the rise. Yellow card shown to Jack Storer. Bruno's very much a team on the rise in Gibraltarian football. They've only been in existence 10 years, but the season just finished saw them achieve their highest ever league position of third, and they won the Gibraltar equivalent of the FAI Cup in April when they defeated the league champions Lincoln Red Imps in the final on penalties. Zuniga challenging Martin. Ball has come off the Mexican player last, as it turns out. Archie Davies with the throw it. So Dundalk back in the driving seat in this tie. Daniel Kelly has escaped Zuniga for the moment. Hubin, Ryan O'Kane was arriving, and Hubin takes it away from him slightly. Here's Dos Santos now for Magpies. Storer with the inventive attempted flick into the path of Coombs. He has it again here, Storer, and he's looking for Nash, and he's found Nash here. Oh, and Nash, his touch lets him down and his head is in his hands, and I can understand why, John.
Oh, it's a fabulous ball with Storer just over the back four, and Nash, you'd think all ends up he's going to take a touch there and finish it, but his touch just let him down at the vital moment. Better touch there, and he's straight through on goal.
Leahy sent forward by Benton, out of play. St Patrick's Athletic 1, Dudelange 1. Dudelange leading that tie by 3-2 as it stands. 54 minutes played in that one. Derry 1, Tórshavn 0. So Derry in front in their tie. Glentoran 0, Gezira 0, 2-2 across the tie in that one. Crusaders 0, Haka of Finland 0, 2-2 across that tie as well. Here at Oriel Park, Dundalk leading by 2-1. Here's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane, and he's forced the corner kick for Dundalk.
The start of the second half a lot brighter. Ryan O'Kane is getting the ball a little bit earlier to allow him to go and attack the full back, get a good run on him. He's created the opportunity here for Dundalk.
O'Kane himself will take this corner kick. Daniel Kelly getting instruction from Stephen O'Donnell. Dundalk crowding the 6-yard box for the moment. Greg Sloggett going into the Ulikoko position on the edge of the penalty area. O'Kane. Pat Hooven, player with arms around with a bear hug on the Dundalk attacker. He's appealing to the referee. In the ball goes, away by Hankins. O'Kane keeps that in successfully, but gives it away to Nash and then closes it down and wins it back and goes down. No free kick. Tripping off over his own feet, Ryan O'Kane on that occasion.
Done really well to win it back, and it's a couple of occasions he's got his cogs caught in the turf tonight.
Linfield in action this evening as well against Vlasnia of Albania, and they are trailing by 1-0 in Albania, but they do still have an advantage across the tie. They lead by 3-2, but a little bit more anxious for the men from Belfast at the moment. We will keep an eye on those other Irish Conference League scorelines this evening. Almost falling short. That ball back to Hankins. John Martin certainly proved an irritation, and more than an irritation, for Bruno's Magpies since he came into the game at half time.
And just with that little bit extra bit of pace, so he has a tread in behind as well.
Hooven challenges Bent and gets to the ball first, and the referee though sees it the other way. Pat Hooven doesn't understand the decision. Free kick to the visitors.
A bit amused myself. I thought he's won the ball there, and if anything else, that Ben's come down on top of him, but ref seen it the other way around and given Magpies a dangerous free kick here.
Surely too far out for a shot from Andre Dos Santos, so likely a delivery into the penalty area. Diaz has gone forward, as has Zuniga. Dos Santos clips it in the general direction of Zuniga, but much too general, and that's gone behind for a goal kick to Dundalk.
Yeah, they had a little routine set up there. Zuniga to peel around to the back post, but ball that didn't give him any opportunity to challenge for that at all.
Dean Arrowsmith, a great Dundalk fan, is listening in or watching in this evening in Chicago Fire pitch office, along with a bunch of new fans from Chicago. Good evening to you all. Good to have you on board the Lily White Express, hopefully to the next round of the Europa Conference League. Here's Ryan O'Kane. Coombs working back, cleared away by Diaz. Malley's header. Up goes Malley again. Hooven emerges with the ball, and he's found O'Kane. Martin and Kelly are the players in the middle. Hooven getting in there as well. Still O'Kane holds it up and plays it for Leahy. Leahy bends one in straight into the hands of Jalen Hankins. 9 clean sheets in 19 games last season for the Magpies. Jalen Hankins played a pivotal role in the National Cup win over his parent club, Lincoln Red Imps, saving a penalty in the penalty shootout. Sloggett. Here's Andy Boyle taking the responsibility. Throw into Bruno's Magpies though. Dundalk a little ragged again at the moment.
Yeah, just taking the foot off the pedal a bit. They're starting to panic. Just need to settle down, get back to their football, get on it, move it around, get Magpies moving around, and then try and pick them off.
Here's Storer. Storer has managed to evade Louis Ansley. Who has he got in support? He's turned back out, Storer. Coombs is there. Coombs with Ryan O'Kane at his back, looking to dig out the cross in towards Nash. Really important flick away by Andy Boyle. Here's Zuniga now. Joe Zuniga once more. First touch to control, second touch is across, and a shot coming in from Gonzalez on the edge of the penalty area. Not the cleanest of strikes.
Really good touch there from Andy Boyle. It had to be in the middle. Coombs again down that right hand side far too easily. He's got a cross in. He's ran back 2 or 3 of them in the corner, but an excellent cross.
Sloggett. John Martin offside according to the Bruno's defenders, but not according to the assistant on this side. Could be a throw in to the visiting team. Gerard Foley, who's been in contact on Twitter, says that the lack of pace down Dundalk's left side is causing problems, and that maybe Robbie McCourt coming in on the left side of midfield might nullify that to some extent ahead of Darragh Leahy. Gary McDonald is watching the match in South Philadelphia. His father Jimmy is at the game. He's been going to Oriel Park for 65 years according to Gary. Good evening to you, Gary. Here's Ryan O'Kane. Now Sloggett. Conor Malley with a wasted attempted pass towards Ryan O'Kane. Much too much overcooked. Dos Santos will take the throw in. We are inside the 60th minute of the match. Dundalk 2, Bruno's Magpies 1. Here's the opening goal scorer of the game, Pat Hooven. Now Malley. Daniel Kelly is in there. It's looking for Kelly. And Hankins has, well, he's foundered on that one. Mishandled it completely, and it'll be a Dundalk throw in.
It was a good ball in by Malley, but just wrong man in the box. If you had John Martin or Pat Hooven in there, but the attack's still alive.
Davies, Sloggett, Hooven wants it in the middle. Malley, now Leahy. Hooven is pulled wide now. Hooven up against Diaz. Looks to go on the outside of Diaz. Diaz has defended it relatively well. He's caught Pat Hooven accidentally with a trailing boot. Dan Bent. Gonzalez gets something on it. Now Bent brings it away. John Martin has too much pace though.
Great challenge
for the Englishman. Not just inside the penalty area that John Martin is having an impact on the game at the moment. Here's Conor Malley. Martin, and he's given that away. Here's Storer. Coombs is on his right hand side. All the way over on this left hand side is Arguez. Coombs will hold it up and wait for more support. Dos Santos. Now Gonzalez. Here's Zuniga. Arguez. Ansley's header back into midfield will be picked up by Dos Santos and now helped on by Storer. Here's Nash inside the penalty area. Archie Davies very aware of where the ball was and what was behind him.
Yeah, he done really well. He came in, just held off Nash and got his clearance in. But again, it's Dundalk's making. Shepherd's come screaming for that, and he just got a duck under that. Pressure's gone into the keeper.
St Patrick's Athletic 2, Dudelange 1 now at Richmond Park. It was an own goal for the first goal for St Pat's. Adam Murphy with the second. That game now level on aggregate 3-3. Here's Hooven for Dundalk. Ryan O'Kane peeling away. This is O'Kane with a chance to run at Dos Santos into the penalty area. Dos Santos with the block. O'Kane helping it back to Leahy. Can just send this one in towards Daniel Kelly, who's just checked by Zuniga. And fairly so, and that's gone behind. Goal kick for Bruno's Magpies. Jalen Hankins with the goal kick now. Bent with the flick on. Nash. You could just see what he was trying to do. Jack Storer on the run off his shoulder, trying to lift it behind.
And if he had Dundalk were in trouble because again Ainsley's come charging out there. He's jumped over Malley when there's no need to, and he didn't win the header. It's just a bit more communication.
Here's Dos Santos now to Coombs. He's been less influential in the second half. Dundalk have managed to close down that avenue to some extent at least.
Yeah,
might be another avenue here with Gez coming forward, but Nathan Shepherd is alive to it.
He still looks dangerous every time he gets the ball, but because Dundalk are trying to pen back Magpies, he's having to drop a little bit more and trying to help out Dos Santos with Ryan O'Kane, and therefore taking the pressure off Darragh Leahy a little bit.
Alan Matthews is watching this evening in Portugal along with his wife Darren, who's allowed Alan watch the match. Fair play to you, Darren. You're very understanding. The sangria can wait. Jalen Hankins now with the free kick for Bruno's Magpies. Directing it towards Bent, who wins the flick on. Coombs is on, or rather it's Nash on the back of Louis Ainsley. He's appealing for perhaps a handball or a back pass against Louis Ainsley.
Yeah, Ainsley looked to control it first, Ainsley, rather than just dealing with it, and it's found its way back into Nathan Shepherd.
Slog it. Good ball for Davies. Davies was trying to help that forward towards Daniel Kelly.
They look a little bit vulnerable from those long free kicks, Dundalk, at the moment. Ansley hasn't been as dominant. The only one who seems to be winning his fair share of headers is Andy Boyle. But that Ainsley Leahy side, they're losing an awful lot of balls, and Magpies are picking up the second balls.
Game in a particularly disjointed period at the moment. Boyle's header forward. Dos Santos away. Leahy to Malley. Now Houben. Possibilities perhaps for Dundalk, but can't quite link up with Darragh Leahy. Throw in is Dundalk's. Pat Houben wants to get on with it as quickly as possible. Houben. O'Kane. Diaz does enough to clear that away for Magpies. Nash helps it on. Storer with the back heel. Too much pace on it. Nash and Coombs, very willing runners.
He's proven a handful this half. Storer. He's winning a lot of initial balls. He's holding it up. He's trying to bring people in.
Birmingham-born striker Jack Storer, signed from Highgate United in the Midland Football League in January. Here's the Bruno's Magpies goal scorer Joe, and what a goal it was. Cross from Arguez, and that's beaten Andy Boyle and Louis Ainsley, and it's gone behind and not caused any real danger to Nathan Shepherd's goal. Good shape on the delivery though.
It's an excellent ball, and it just beat Andy Boyle the front post, and Ainsley had his hands full, and just as Darragh Leahy played that ball forward to nobody, Stephen Donnell has sent Robbie McCourt out to warm up, so I wonder will we see a change in that side.
Zuniga with the throw-in. 21 appearances last season. Francisco Zuniga scoring twice. Looking for Storer, and he wanted the flick on to Coombs, but he was offside. Jack Storer. Here's Shepherd now with the free kick for Dundalk. Dundalk with the goal advantage, but the game very much still in the balance. And the place in the second round next week. Here's Houben looking for O'Kane again. Just couldn't manage to bring the ball past Gonzalez. Dundalk do still have it. Leahy. Jack Storer has gone down, or Dan Bent rather has gone down. Dundalk play on. Here's Joe. Pat Hooban stretches out a leg. Bent stretches out a leg. It'll be a free kick to Bruno's Magpies. St Patrick's Athletic trailing in the tie again against Dundalk. They've got an equaliser at Richmond Park. F91 Dundalk. They now lead by 4-3 over the two legs, the Luxembourg side. Jalen Hankins surveying his options upfield. As ever, Dan Bent is the target. Louis Ansley rises well. Hubert towards Martin. His back header won't quite find Ryan O'Kane. Here's Bent again. Gonzalez. Marquez unable to keep that in play. It's not been high octane stuff in this second half.
No, Stephen Donnelly, he's pulling his hair out. He's onto it. Dundalk need to get on the ball. They need to enjoy some possession again. Get the ball down the decks, pass it around. The scrappier it stays, it's only going to take one bad mistake or one really good ball with Magpies and they'll get in.
We see a double change here from Bruno's Magpies. And Arguez, the first player to be withdrawn. Jose Heraldez coming into the game. Heraldez started the first match last week. One of the new summer arrivals at Bruno's, coming from the Spanish fourth tier, like so many of the Bruno squad. May not be the highest level of Spanish football, but certainly players at that level will be technical, John, won't they?
Yeah, they've come up through that league, that style of play. They're all used to playing football from an early age. Technically, they'll be very, very, very good.
And Dan Bent is making way to be replaced by Carlos Garcia, another player signed this month from Torremolinos, again in the Spanish fourth tier. Free kick to Bruno's Magpies, delivered into the penalty area, headed away by Boyle, but once again there's an offside in there, time and time again. Bruno's have been caught offside. Dundalk's defensive offside trap working well this evening. Here's Hubert to O'Kane. O'Kane, he's got Martin in the middle again and Kelly. Now it's Malley, can he pick someone out in there? Pat Hooban is the target of the cross, and it's cut out really importantly by Diaz. Gonzalez sends it away. Diaz into midfield. Garcia helps it on towards Zuniga. That's a mess by Zuniga. Gonzalez. Diaz will nod that back to his goalkeeper. So what can those two changes do for Bruno's here? Carlos Garcia into the middle. Jose Heraldez into the forward line. And it's a free kick to Bruno's. And it's Heraldez, the player fouled, making his second European appearance tonight. Jose Heraldez.
He done well to manufacture that for himself, Heraldez there. Just backed into Andy Boyle, and once Boyle stood up against him, he just jumped forward.
Carlos Garcia will look to conjure something here for the visiting team. Can they peg Dundalk back again in this one? Dundalk leading by 2-1 inside the 73rd minute of the game. Garcia. They do have their fair share of tall players in there. Jack Storer certainly one. Joe. Zuniga in there. It's in towards Joe and Zuniga. Greg Sloggett gets something on it, puts it behind. It'll be a corner kick for Bruno's Magpies. Garcia himself will go across and take this. Garcia's corner kick, looking for someone to come to the front post for him. And he goes towards that front post, headed away by Conor Malley. Daniel Kelly completes the job and sends it up to the halfway line. Here's Coombs, who's getting booed by the Shedside Army below us.
Seems your sign he's doing something right.
Storer takes that down well and finds Coombs, runs in to slog it, and now Ryan O'Kane. Is he being fouled by Garcia? The referee says yes, and well, he allows Dundalk to continue because they have the ball. Here's Conor Malley, manages to poke it to Darragh Leahy. Now Kelly, who's on the left side for once. Kelly past to Santos. Santos though sticks out a right boot and makes the block. Leahy with the throw. Offside this time against a Dundalk player over there. Rory Gilson has been in touch again on Twitter to say that it's an obvious thing to say, John, and I think it probably is, but Dundalk's still crying out for a controller in midfield. I think we've been saying that since Chris Shields has left the club.
Yeah, and we all thought probably Paul Doyle was the man to come in and take that mantle, but through injury and lack of game time, he hasn't really grown into that role yet. I still think he can do a really good job with that when he gets himself fully fit, and we're asking Greg Sloggett to do it tonight, but it could be that tonight for him, and then next week he's in the 10 and next week he's in the 8, and he's not been given the chance to actually settle into a role. But I think, yeah, Rory's dead right. Obviously any side's going to be missing the important players like Chris Shields.
Malley's free kick doesn't find Kelly. Nash. Heraldez bundled off it by Boyle. Malley, slog it. Now Davies. Nash operating on the left-hand side. It's left-hand side now for Bruno's Magpies. Here's Conor Malley. Heraldez at his shoulder. Still Malley, and he's managed to squeeze that out to Archie Davies, and the referee and the assistant, really it is, that's awarded that free kick against Conor Malley. And Malley's into the referee's notebook as well. Yellow card for him. Certainly he stretched for the ball, John. I don't know what you made of that yellow card.
I thought he got a toe on it.
He definitely got the ball, yeah.
I thought he got a toe on it. After his second little roll around in the ground, Heraldez then held his ankle and looked at the linesman. He's lunged in. It's a free, if the ref wants to give a free, fair enough. I thought Malley got a toe on the ball to help it out to Dan Kelly. Definitely not a yellow card.
Hankins free kick towards Joe. Now it's Heraldez. Heraldez for Storer. Nathan Shepherd smartly and sharply off his line to deny Heraldez any opportunity. Here's Hubin. Clever ball from Malley. Daniel Kelly on the move from that right hand side, going inside. Now Archie Davies. Kelly is back on his outside. Davies into the penalty area, and he's found John Martin, and I'm not exactly sure what John Martin was trying to do with that, but it hasn't worked.
That's the first time we've really seen Archie Davies in that driving role this evening, and he's been so effective in recent weeks, getting forward and putting wonderful deliveries into the box. And again, he's put in a good ball there. John Martin couldn't sort his feet out quick enough to get a shot on target.
Still St Pat's 2, Dundalk 2. Dundalk still leading by 4-3 in the tie. Derry City still in the lead against Tórshavn, and at Oriel Park Dundalk in the lead against Magpies. So Dundalk and Derry at the moment going through into next week's second round. St Pat's Athletic going out, and the referee belatedly awarding the free kick to Dundalk for the foul on John Martin. And there's an altercation here between Pat Hubin and certainly Coombs involved. Referee across quickly to sort it out.
But there's no doubt that he's just jumped straight into John Martin. The referee just gives a free kick there, and none of this happens. He's given a lot of soft free kicks around the park, and then the likes of that he's not given.
Dundalk free kick. Referee wants a word with Hooven, who's got a yellow card, and so has Andre Dos Santos. Dundalk with the free kick. Louis Ansley, the player to take it. Directs it towards Dan Kelly. Not much he could do with that. And that's gone behind for Bruno's Magpies goal kick. And Magpies' cause becoming more urgent now. You can see that in Jalen Hankins' body language, in a hurry to get the ball and place it and deliver it upfield towards, no doubt, Jack Storer. Joe, the intended target. Here's Zuniga. Davies sends it away. Gonzalez is there. Bruno's Magpies throw in. No real sign of any activity on the Dundalk bench at the moment. Stephen O'Donnell in conversation over there with some of his substitutes. Davies. Now Martin. He's managed to give Gonzalez the slip. Now Dan Kelly. Davies bends that in dangerously. Away by Diaz. Now it's with Leahy. Dos Santos out in front of Ryan O'Kane to repel Dundalk. Leahy to the feet of Hooven. Hooven helps it on. Ryan O'Kane will give chase, but Hankins gets there first. We're inside the final 10 minutes of the 90.
Really good ball in by Archie Davis again. Darrell Leahy's radar is just not working tonight. He's giving the ball away too cheaply at times.
Hankins towards Nash. Well read in the air by Andy Boyle. Pat Hooven caught by Joe. Free kick to Dundalk. Alfonso Cortijo, the manager of Bruno's Magpies, as we said earlier, but much of their success over the last 18 months has been attributed to the former coach Nathan Rooney, who left the club in May to pursue his pro licence qualifications. Alfonso Cortijo, the man charged with continuing the club's progression. Right now, at the front of his mind is the club's progression in the Europa Conference League this season, because they trail, and at the moment they're going out. Bruno's Magpies with the throw. Joe. Dispossessed by O'Kane. Malley. O'Kane again. Now Martin. He's overcooked the cross towards Daniel Kelly. Archie Davies will try and make something of it. Gets there before Zuniga. Unable to keep it in play. Dundalk 2, Bruno's Magpies 1 remains the scoreline. Glentoran with an equaliser, a late one against Gezira United. Glentoran 1, Gezira 1, and that makes it 3-3 on aggregate in that one. That goal coming in injury time in that game. Here's Dan Kelly, and that's missed by Diaz, and he somehow manages to stick out a leg and dispossess Kelly, but Dundalk have it back again. Malley into the path of John Martin. Martin for Hooven. Can he find Kelly? Oh, it's in! Dundalk have scored. It's an own goal, and that should ensure safe passage for the Lily Whites to the next round. An own goal scored by Dos Santos, and it's Dundalk 3, Magpies 1.
It's a really good Dundalk goal, and it all started with a lovely ball from Greg Sloggett into Dan Kelly. creating a bit of confusion in the back four. When it came back in again, he was slipped down the side, Pat Hubin, and he pulled it across. The whole defence went as if he was going to shoot, pulled it across, and as the centre half was coming back, he just put it into his own goal. The Santos it was. Very unfortunate, but from a Dundalk perspective, you'll hope that's the tie put to bed.
Dundalk 3, Magpies 1, and well, surely now Dundalk heading for the second round next week, and a tie against Kawa of Iceland. Their match is finished this evening.
He done really well, Pat Hubin. You'll see it again. He shaped the shoot and up the whole back four, dived in to try and block the shot, and he pulled it back. Dan Kelly just was there waiting for him. The Santos tried to cover him and slide in, just put it into his own goal by Hankins.
Gonzalez being replaced by Anthony Hernandez for Bruno's Magpies. Jamie Coombs also making way for Julian Del Rio. So 2 changes for Alfonso Cortijo. But surely that's that for Bruno's Magpies. Dundalk with a 2-goal advantage for the first time in the game, and here's Pat Hubin to look to inflict more damage on the visiting side. Hubin's gone down. Here's Ryan O'Kane, dancing feet, and he struck his own player with the ball. Pat Hubin was prone on the ground. Leahy. Dundalk sense maybe another goal here. Hubin, Mali for O'Kane, up against Joe. Del Rio is in support for Bruno's. Hubin tried to poke it in towards Leahy, who'd stayed forward. Now slog it after this. Nash, fairly according to the referee, has won that, and he's still got it. Nash, he's done well then. Ansley returns it. Zuniga. Garcia back for Diaz, and Diaz with the long ball. Cut out by Boyle. Now it's Storer. Looking for Del Rio. Dara Leahy stands up and dispossesses his opponent. Malaga-born Julian Del Rio. He's twice represented Gibraltar at under 21 level. Del Rio freshly into the match, and we have 4 minutes left for play here. No doubt things getting frantic at Richmond Park. St Patrick's Athletic trailing to Dundalk still. 2-2 on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. Here at Oriel Park, things very much under control for Dundalk now with that third goal. Andy Boyle challenged by Del Rio, who would just love the opportunity to make Dundalk nervous in the dying minutes here with another goal. Okay. Dispossessed by Nash. Nicely worked. Greg Sloggett has gone down. Here is the substitute, Del Rio. Anthony Hernandez. And Archie Davies is fouled, and I'm told that Glentoran goal was struck off in their match against Gezira United. So Glentoran 0, Gezira United is still the scoreline, and Gezira, as it stands, going through to the next round, and that game is in injury time, as we said. So Glentoran, it would appear, going out of the Europa Conference League this evening. Here's Pat Hubin. Now Leahy. Daniel Kelly is in plenty of space on the right hand side, but
a few times the last couple of minutes, Dundalk taking far too much out of the ball. That time it's Dara Leahy. He's at the ball plenty of time. He's trying a little turn, just get a touch, pass the ball, keep it moving. They've been caught in possession far too easily and far too often.
I know that Shamrock Rovers aren't in great form themselves at the moment, but Dundalk will need to be better than this tonight if they're to beat the League of Ireland champions on Sunday in the FAI Cup.
Yeah, I mean, if we compare this performance to the last performance here against Shamrock Rovers, where Dundalk were really on it. They were physical, they were aggressive, their intensity levels are up. They're pressing, they're passing, everything was on song. But tonight, it's just not there. It's very, very disjointed.
The Dundalk Cooley Raffertys are watching in Wales this evening. Hello to you all. Ronan Rafferty has been in touch. Niall McMahon wants to say good evening to Rebecca. And David McMahon watching on Halls in Achill Island. Dundalk supporters in good form this evening because their side are in the lead, even if it hasn't always been convincing at Oriel Park this evening. Jalen Hankins goes long towards Joe. He's got enough of a flick on it, but that's wasted once again, this time by Del Rio. And Dundalk have been comfortable since that third goal, the own goal by Dos Santos on 83. And we're inside the final minute of the 90 now.
Yeah, it's all about the result tonight and progressing to that second round. But Stephen won't be very happy with the performance. But he'd much rather be analysing a winning performance than losing.
Shepherd's goal kick. Hernandez heads it on. Nash. And that's a really clever ball by Nash to Heraldez. Players in the middle. Hernandez one of them. Storer two. No nonsense clearance from Andy Boyle. Just clear your lines and defend it at this stage. They are in the second round, barring an almighty collapse here now. Fourth officials board should go up any moment now to tell us just how long. 3 minutes. Dundalk have to hold on to an advantage to go through to the next round. Zuniga. Martin forcing him backwards. So that match next Thursday, scheduled as it stands to be in Iceland, unless there are other connotations with regards to other Icelandic teams advancing. Here's John Martin. Martin, he might be in here. Across comes the captain of Bruno's Magpies, Ruben Diaz, to prevent the damage getting any worse. Here's Storer. Del Rio. Good touch to Hernandez. Throw into Bruno's. Leahy. Hoopen. Ryan O'Kane.
It's all the Dundalk have to do. Just put the foot on the ball, keep possession. That's awful officiating. He hasn't given
free kick.
Hasn't given a free kick initially. Allowed Pat Hoban to play on, and
Magpies free kick, but they're not looking well. It's going to be a drop ball. And it looks like he's giving it back to Dundalk. Glentoran with a 13th minute in stoppage time equaliser against Gazira United this evening. So they are level now at the Oval in Belfast. Here's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane on the outside of Dos Santos. Dos Santos stands up to it well. Bobby Burns with that goal for Glentoran. 1-1 in that game. 3-3 now across that tie. Derry City still leading by a goal to nil on aggregate against Tórshavn. St Pat's still 2-2 and still trailing on aggregate against Dundalk. Storer will look to keep that in play unsuccessfully. And we are inside the final minute, well inside it, and Dundalk now seconds away from safe passage to the second round of the Europa Conference League, and that's what it's all about, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for Dundalk to push on, and it's great prize money for getting into the next round. I think Stephen O'Donnell said himself that this would have impacted his transfer plans for the summer window, so that puts the club in a better position. But he'll know levels will have to improve going forward, and not only in Europe but on a domestic front. That this performance tonight wouldn't be acceptable.
And there is the final whistle from our referee this evening, Patrick Coleridge, and that confirms Dundalk safely into the second round of the Europa Conference League. Pat Hooban with the game's opening goal on 3 minutes. Joe with a stunning equaliser in 33 for the visitors to really make a game of it. But John Martin, his introduction at half time, 3 minutes into the second half, he had Dundalk in front. And then 7 minutes from the 90, Andre Dos Santos put into his own goal to give Dundalk a comfortable enough looking 3-1 win on paper. And certainly when you look at the scoreline, but it hasn't been all that comfortable, John, has it?
No, the first half was probably, you could probably say Magpie shaded the first half on opportunities and pressure, but they didn't really threaten Dundalk in that second half at all. And if Carlsberg could do substitutions, it was John Martin coming on.
That's the opening goal of the game from Pat Hooban after just 3 minutes. What a start for Dundalk.
It was a perfect start, and we said he was going to be the one to lead the line, and he got a perfect ball, and Darrell Lee, wonderful ball in, and Pat Hooban just out-muscling Diaz at the back stick. And then within 3 minutes Dundalk were ahead, and you hope they're going to push on from there, but they didn't. They sat back and they were a little bit sloppy, and they allowed Magpies come on.
If it's any consolation for Bruno's Magpies, they might well have a contender for the Puskas Award goal of the season in European football.
Absolutely fabulous. The technique, the strike right into the top corner, but it came down that right hand side, and they were threat all night down there with Coombs, and then he got the ball into Joe, and what a volley right into the top corner.
So 1-1 at the break, and then Stephen O'Donnell makes a change. John Martin comes in and he does this, John.
And just before that, he done really well initially to win that ball and slip Ryan O'Kane down the side. And as you mentioned yourself, the best part about that was he got his initial strike, but he followed it in. He didn't rest on his laurels. He was the first to react, and he finished from the tight angle, and that really set up that second half.
And there wasn't all that much in it, John, between the two teams in that second half. But that third goal, well, this was an opportunity for Liam Nash, which he will have nightmares about tonight.
That was the one big opportunity he had. If he had taken that in his stride, he straight through and Shepherd, and the game became very disjointed. There was a real lack of quality in the second half. It was a lot of long balls, end to end, a lot of scrapping around the penalty areas, but not a whole lot of open opportunities or much created.
And this is the own goal they made absolutely sure for Dundalk. Pat Hooban involved, Andre Dos Santos with the finish.
Yeah, Pat done really well. He shaped the shoot once he was slipped down the side. Defenders dived in, and then Kelly was there just to tap it home, but Dos Santos doing his best to come back, sliding in, trying to deny Daniel Kelly, put it into his own goal, and that was it.
Dundalk supporters celebrating with their team on this side of the pitch. Dundalk players in front of the shed, and they're accepting the applause. Dundalk's European Odyssey continues. They do, of course, have an FAI Cup match to deal with on Sunday against the Shamrock Rovers here against the champions of Ireland. That game kicking off at 5 o'clock on Sunday. You can, of course, watch that on LOI TV and listen to it on lmfm.ie. Just a quick run through the other scorelines involving Irish teams this evening. Glentoran and Gazira United, that one will continue. That's finished 1-1. And that game 3-3 on aggregate. St Patrick's Athletic, it looks like they're going out. They trail by 3-2 at Richmond Park now. 5-3 across the tie. Crusaders 1, Haka 0. That game 82 minutes in, and Crusaders leading. The other games are all full times. Connaskeen Nomads 0. Kau'a of Iceland. This is the match that concerns Dundalk. Dundalk will be playing Kau'a in the next round of this competition. They won that one on 4-0 across the tie on aggregate. Derry City 1, Torshavn 0. That's a final score from the Brandywell, and Derry City go through to the next round as well. And Vlasnia against Linfield, Vlasnia of Albania. Linfield leading that, or have won that rather, by 3-2 on aggregate. That's it from Oriel Park this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage, whether you're of a Gibraltarian persuasion or a Dundalk. I suspect if you're a Dundalk fan, you've enjoyed it quite well. Thanks very much to John Flanagan on co-commentary alongside me, and the entire production team here in Dundalk and back at base. Final score here at Oriel Park. Dundalk safely through into the Europa Conference League second round to face Kawa of Iceland next week. Final score, Dundalk 3, Bruno's Magpies 1.